Hello, 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 everyone. It's Judy Klock here at Stampin' with Crafty Klock, coming to you live for another little demonstration this evening. I am joined in studio tonight by Trooper, so if you hear background noises, it's probably Trooper, my chocolate lab, just running around acting crazy. Anyway, tonight I'm starting what I'm calling my farewell tour. So Stampin' Up! Released 2 demonstrators, the new catalog that will release to the public on May 3rd. And they also released the list of retiring items. So on the list of retiring items is one of my personal favorites. It's called Sweet Ice Cream. So I wanted to highlight this one more time in case there's someone out there who doesn't have it yet. If you want to get it, you have until May 2nd to go ahead and get this fun set. Hey, Patricia, how are you tonight? So let's go ahead and see what we're working on. So this also came with a matching punch, the ice cream cone builder punch. We're going to be working with the punch and the stamp set tonight. So our first card, we're going to go again real simple. We're just going to use stamps, inks, and paper. We're going to punch out our ice cream cone and a little little tag there that we can write a little sentiment on, and we're just going to create a very simple happy birthday card. This is really, suitable for children, adults, male, female. It's really suitable for everybody because who doesn't like ice cream? I guess unless you're my husband and you're lactose intolerant, then you really don't like ice cream, but oh well. So we get him sherbet. And then we're going to step it up and we're going to do a cute little fun fold here. And we're just going to, again, make another pretty little birthday card with our Stampin' Up! The sweet ice cream and the punch. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with our simple stamping card first. And we have here a piece of our pool party that is 8.5 by 5.5. I've scored this at 4 1/4, and I'm just going to pull this up a little bit higher. I've got a new phone holder. I've had it for a few weeks, and I'm still getting used to how it works. So bear with me as I adjust it just a bit. Okay. Sorry for the wobbling. I think we're good now. And then I'm going to use just some scraps. I always save my scraps because you never know when you're going to need some scraps to punch out different shapes. And then, of course, I have my 4 by 5 1/4 for the inside. So let's go ahead and start with our inside piece. I always say stamp, then stick, because if you make a mistake when you're stamping or you get ink or something where you don't want it, you can flip it over and you still have a whole nother side of the paper to use. So I like to stamp it first, and I'm just going to stamp a real simple happy birthday. I love that font. Isn't that gorgeous? But there's so many exciting new pretty sets coming. So I hope everyone will be pleased with what's coming in the new catalog. And a lot of our bundles are on sale now through March 31st. So do be sure they're 20% off. And our mini Stamp, Cut, and Emboss is also still 20% off through the end of March. So you've got some really good sales happening right now. All right, so now I had a piece of designer series paper that was 2 inches by 5 and 5.5, and I seem to have misplaced it. So let me I think it's right here. Found it. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to just stick that right there. Okay, about 1/4 inch away from, and this is the Sweet Conversations DSP. This was in the January to June mini, and this one is also retiring. So if you want this, and I like it that on the other, even though it was like really Valentine's Day themed, the other side was just sort of generic. So, you could use it and make a birthday card out of it. So I consider that pretty versatile. Now the stamp set has this little like dots stamps. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to stamp those in the pool party, and I'm just going to kind of stamp them in a random pattern, and that just kind of brings a little bit of interest. Like, if you'll notice, I'm kind of switching how I'm holding the block so I can twist the image so it's not the same image all the way down. Keep switching it up. Maybe one more little one there. Okay. And that just adds, to me, it adds just a little bit more interest to the front of that card. All right, so I took our tailored tag punch and I punched out one of our tailored tags, and I've got ink on it because I have ink on my fingers. Hang on. This is why we keep some baby wipes down here. Okay, well, let's see if we have another piece of white that we can punch out, another tailored tag that doesn't have ink on it. There we go. All right. Now I'm just going to stamp on here. I'm going to stamp Treat Yourself. And I'm going to use our pool party again. I put it away too soon. Okay. Just going to make sure I get that on there. There we go. And you'll notice I'm using the Stampin' Pierce mat. That is because I am working with photopolymer stamps. And the Stampin' Pierce mat just gives that a little extra cushion that helps our photopolymers give you a nice clean stamp when you use that. If you stamp on a hard surface like my desk or something, sometimes you don't get a nice clean stamp. So I always like to use our Stampin' Pierce mat. All right. And we're just going to put our little sentiment on there. If I can get these silly little backings off. All right, I'm just going to put that right there. Now I have a piece of crumb cake, a scrap of crumb cake, and I am going to punch out a cone, an ice cream cone, and then I'm going to take like the crosshatch stamp and I'm going to stamp that, excuse me, in our early espresso. Okay, let's get that out of the way. Bring this back, and we're not going to stamp too much more. I am just going to stamp those little. Okay, now I'm going to bring back in my punch, and I'm going to punch out. We're going to do chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry scoops. Okay, so I have Blushing Bride. Obviously, I have Basic White. And of course, I have Early Espresso. And these are all just scraps that I had laying around in my scrap drawer. All right, now we're ready to assemble our cone. So I'm going to start with my cone on the bottom. And if you want to use Stampin' Dimensionals, you can. I was trying to keep it really basic. I'm going to go chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. So I'm going to start with our Early Espresso. I'm going to put on our Basic White. All right, and then we're going to top it off with our Blushing Bride to get that strawberry layer on there. And now, what are ice cream without sprinkles? We're going to add some chocolate sprinkles with our Early Espresso. I'm just going to stamp them again. There we go. So now we've got our simple stamping card. We've just got a nice little birthday card. Let's Treat Yourself. We've got our ice cream cone on there with chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and a lovely happy birthday inside. So again, I think that's a card that really any beginner can certainly go ahead and make this card. It really wasn't that difficult. You know, we had 2 punches in there and everything else is just stamps, inks, and paper. So that is it for our simple stamping card with our sweet ice cream set. Now we're going to go and we're going to do this little fun fold. Isn't that cute? So we're going to go ahead and we're going to start with our, we're going to take our, this is Highland Heather, and I still have ink on my fingers. Why is that? Okay, let's get the ink off my fingers. Okay, so we have Highland Heather. It is 8.5 by 5.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I need to score the front of my card. I need to score it on an angle. So I'm going to take my card, I'm going to put it on my trimmer, and I'm going to put it so that where the fold line is in the little groove. And then I'm just going to twist it so that I get, I don't even know, maybe that much down into there. So I'm going to just mark that. Make sure I get that. I'm going to mark that with my scorer on my trimmer. Okay. So now I've got my little score line. I'm just going to come and I'm going to fold that over. Okay. Now I have a piece of our, this is again from the Sweet Conversations DSP. So I want to make sure that I cut off the right amount. So I am going to kind of hold it there. And this is kind of cheating, but I am going to kind of fold it like that to kind of score it a little bit. So I kind of know where I want to go cut it. So now I'm going to bring back my trimmer. And again, I'm going to put the edge of the Designer Series paper in the trimming groove. And I'm going to put where I have that other fold line in the groove also. And I'm just going to go ahead and cut that off. Be brave. Just go for it and cut it. Now I'm ready to go ahead and put this here. So we're going to just attach that there. Ooh. No, I'm running out. And I don't think I have another one over here. All right. So I'm just going to make sure that it butts up right against that score line. And there you go. So now we've got our first piece on there. Now, the piece that we just cut off, obviously, Trooper, don't eat that. Hold on a minute. Don't eat that. Okay. Sorry about that. A piece of paper fell and he was chewing it. So this is the piece we just cut off. Now, obviously, it's going the wrong way, and I didn't want to use this piece because I just felt it didn't really go. So I just cut another piece off, and I'm just going to put that right there so I get that. Now, this is just a little bit big, so I'm going to just kind of trim that off. So let me bring back my trimmer. And I'm just going to slice off just a teeny tiny bit, not a lot. Like the most minuscule amount I think I can probably get away with. There we go. It's probably like 1/8 of an inch that I just took off there. All right, so then we're going to go and we're going to just put that piece right there. So that kind of gives us a nice finished look on our front. Now you don't have to do that. You can do something different if you so desire. I just chose to go with this particular look. Okay, so we've got that. Now let's work on our inside. So now I've got this little corner, as you can see, that's gonna peek through. So I thought, well, that would be cute if we'll just stamp Hope It's Sweet. So I'm going to use our Highland Heather ink, and I'm going to stamp Hope It's Sweet, and I'm going to stamp it on an angle. Okay, so I'm just going to go Hope It's Sweet. And then I'm going to come back here, and I'm going to put down with sprinkles on top. With sprinkles on top. And then, to be ironic, I guess if you want to call it that, I'm going to stamp some sprinkles over the word on top. And I'm going to stamp those in Pool Party. I didn't want to go with the Early Espresso. I thought it was just too dark. I'm just going to stamp some sprinkles right there. Again, you don't have to do that. I just thought it would be a fun little add-on. Okay, let's get this in there. Okay. So now we've got our inside piece. All right, there we go. So just I Hope It's Sweet will show. Now I don't like the way this flops, so I'm going to add some dimensionals there so that I can keep that sort of tucked down. I got the edges of my dimensionals. They work just as well as the little shaped dots. They do the same job, so don't waste those edges. Edge pieces work too. I'm having a difficult time taking off the backing tonight. All right, so now I've got that. Now that won't pop up, and I like that much better than having that flap kind of move around. So then I have a piece of basic white. It's about 1 inch, probably by about 3 1/4, maybe 3 1/2. And again, I'm just going to stamp Happy Birthday. Okay. Hopefully I got that. Okay. Oh, I just love this script. It's always hard to say goodbye to old friends, but it's always nice to get some new friends that will come into the studio and make you happy. Because I just think this ice cream set, it just makes me smile every time I work with it. It's just a fun little set. Okay, so we've got our Happy Birthday. Okay, I'm going to punch out another cone. Going to do the same thing. I'm going to add that little crosshatch stamp in our Early Espresso. Okay. All right. There we go. Then I'm just going to go ahead and add some adhesive. Now this I'm kind of sticking down on an angle. And then I'm going to punch out, again, we're going to go with, I'm feeling strawberry tonight. So we're going to use our Blushing Bride, and we're going to punch out another strawberry top. And we're going to go ahead and add that. And then I didn't want to just stamp on the sprinkles. So I thought, you know what? It's going to be like a cherry or like strawberry, like little strawberry pieces in there, or little cherry pieces in there. So we're going to add some of these red rhinestones to make it look like we've got, I don't know, additives or something added into our little ice cream topper. I'm going to probably put on about 5. Okay, there we go. Look at that. How cute is that? Maybe one more. I usually do them in odd numbers, but that's okay. Oh, how cute is that, folks? So I hope that you liked these 2 tonight. I hope that, you know, this, if you don't have it, I hope maybe you'll consider getting it. If you do have it, I hope that you'll bring it back out and play with it. It's the Sweet Ice Cream stamp set. It will be around until May 2nd. So I hope that you will play with it and have fun with it. Like I said, it's one of those stamp sets that just kind of brings a smile to your face. That's it for me tonight. Everybody have a great week. I'll see you next week. Bye.